Chapter 12 of On the Shores of the Great Sea. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Stephen Carney. On the Shores of the Great Sea by M.B. SYNGE. Chapter 12. Hiram, King of Tyre. For Hiram was ever a lover of David. 1 Kings, verse 1. So the Phoenicians were already a great seafaring people when the Israelites finally conquered Canaan, and were united under their first king, Saul, though they had not reached the full height of their fame till Solomon became king of Israel. Now a great friendship had existed between David, the poet king of Israel, Solomon's father, and Hiram, the young king of Phoenicia. And when Hiram heard that King David was going to build himself a palace in his new capital of Jerusalem, Hiram sent him a present of newly felled cedar trees from Lebanon, together with an offer of carpenters and masons to help in the building. David accepted both, and the skilled workmen from Phoenicia came with their tools to Jerusalem and worked there. Hiram was ever a lover of David, but he was yet a greater friend of Solomon. A treaty of trade was soon established between the two kingdoms of Israel and Phoenicia. Here is a well-known story. And King Hiram, king of Tyre, sent his servants unto Solomon, for he had heard that they had anointed him king in the room of his father. For Hiram was ever a lover of David. And Solomon sent to Hiram, saying, Command thou that they hew me cedar trees out of Lebanon, and my servant shall be with thy servant, and unto thee will I give hire for thy servants, according to all that thou shalt appoint. For thou knowest that there is none among us any that can skill to hew timber, like unto the Sidonians. And Hiram sent to Solomon, saying, I have considered the things which thou sentest to me for, and I will do all thy desire concerning timber of cedar, and concerning timber of fir. My servants shall bring them down from Lebanon unto the sea, and I will convey them by sea in floats unto the place that thou shalt appoint me, and will cause them to be discharged there. And thou shalt receive them, and thou shalt accomplish my desire in giving food for my household. So Phoenicia supplied Israel with wood and craftsmen, and Israel supplied Phoenicia with corn and oil, year by year. Phoenicia was growing richer and richer, and Hiram set to work to enlarge, adorn, and fortify his capital, Tyre, until it became one of the most beautiful and renowned cities in the ancient world. Tyre and Sidon were already of world-wide fame when Hiram came to the throne of Phoenicia, but much was needed in the way of harbors for the ever-increasing shipping, and to this task he set himself. Old Tyre lay on the seashore, but with the rapid growth of trade, the sailors of the old town began to use the island which lay close by, and afforded excellent shelter to their ships. King Hiram had this island enlarged, and surrounded by strong walls, which ran out sharply into the sea. Then he built 2 harbors, one to the north, looking towards Sidon, the other to the south, looking towards Egypt, so that in bad weather, when the waves rose high and the winds blew, the merchants of Tyre could reach a safe port. Above the city itself rose battlements and towers. Pleasant houses lay amid gardens and orchards, shaded by vines and olives, with ivory and ebony, with gold and silver, with precious stones and jewels. Tyre was beautified. The king of Tyre sits like a god in the seat of God, sings Ezekiel. In the midst of the seas he dwells as in Eden. Precious stones are the covering of his palaces. The wonderful mixture of land and sea is picturesquely described by an old poet. The sailor furrows the sea with his oar, as the ploughman the soil. The lowing of oxen and the song of birds answer the deep roar of the main. The breeze from Lebanon, while it cools the rustic at his midday labor, speeds the sailor seaward. End of chapter 12. Recording by Stephen Carney, Menasha, Wisconsin.